I bought the Suunto 9 watch after a lot of research and deliberation. I've wanted this watch for probably a year now, and I had been using my cell phone and Strava to track my runs. But what I found out this winter is that when it got really cold, my phone would die. Because it just got so cold. So I wasn't able to always record every run. So I finally got the watch, and I think it was because of the price point. But I got the watch, and now that I have it, I kind of wish I had had it all year to run with. So the main reason I wanted the watch was for the run tracking and the GPS, so that I could look at my runs and see what I've done and just keep track of them all. The watch, it is a little big, but that's good so that you can see it. You can see it on the run. When you're running, it shows you your pace, how many miles you've done. Every mile it vibrates, and a little screen pops on up with the mile that you ended, and what your pace for that mile was, and your heart rate. And that's another thing I like about the watch. I've never paid any attention to my heart rate, and it's kind of interesting to see that data. It'll tell you where your heart rate was the whole run, I believe, is what tracks the heart rate. That's in the back of the watch. But the watch is water resistant, it has an alarm clock, it has a timer. A lot of these things I haven't used yet. I've had the watch a week. But the battery is rechargeable. It hooks right up to a USB cord, and then has a magnet on the back, and it clicks on the back of the watch. Another interesting thing is it tracks your sleep, except you have to wear the watch to bed, and it's a little large. And I've tracked my sleep a few times, and it's kind of interesting to see. It told me one night that out of the 8 hours of sleep or so that I got, that I was awake 41 of those minutes. And then it says what your average heart rate is for sleeping, and it tells you when you went to sleep and when you woke up. The watch face that shows you the time. There's a couple different faces you can choose from. I picked the one that shows the sunrise and the sunset, the times for that. The watch is also good for multiple sports. I'm going to use it primarily for running, but I do bike in the summer, and you can use it for cycling, bicycling, hiking, swimming. So I guess time will tell to see how I use it. The only thing that frustrated me a little bit when I got the watch, it comes in this nice beautiful box and everything, and it comes with a really thick blue booklet, but the booklet doesn't give you any instructions on how to actually start using the watch. You just have to start pressing buttons. And I know that it hooks up to Suunto's tracker, moves count. So I'm like, how do I get attached, connected to that and set up my account there? And how do I upload to Strava? So if they would just put a little sheet in the box that said, just take the USB cord, hook it up to your computer, and put the other end at the click it on that back of your watch. And as soon as you do that, moves count pops up, and you can sign in and set up your account, and then you're set up to moves count. Then I went and watched a YouTube video on how to upload my data to Strava, and it was just a 2-minute video, and then I was doing that. So it was really quite easy. I think the watch is great. I think I must be a little crazy. It's 4 in the morning and I am about ready to go on my last super long run before the Zumbro race. It sounds a little windy out there, so hope it goes all right. I'm sure it will. I'll keep you posted. I have 6.5 miles in. It's really windy. The power lines are humming. They sound like ghosts. And when I pass the stop signs, they are rattling. So, I don't know, I'm contemplating just resuming at a later hour when the wind dies down. I think I'm gonna go check the weather. My biggest concern with running at night or early morning in the dark like this was that my neighbors, someone would call the cops or get their guns out. I mean, it's lonely country roads, and I had it happen before that I was running on a cold, windy day in a gray hooded sweatshirt, and I had the hood on. And I'm running, and all of a sudden I see this cop car just come barreling towards me. And so I stopped. So anyway, it turns out that there had been a jailbreak, and the person that had escaped was running around in a big gray sweatshirt. So thankfully I was female and the jailbreak was male, and I think the cop was a little embarrassed. Anyway, so nothing like that happened, but it is super windy. So I'm gonna go in and check the weather. I'm at Dort's Rec Center on Saturday morning. Yeah, I didn't get the 25 miles in outside. What happened is, as I went inside and I checked the weather, and it was 20 plus mile per hour winds when I was running and the whole rest of today. So I think I'm going to get that long run in on Monday, and I don't want to, I still have some miles to get in this week. I don't want to just write it off. So I'm going to get between 10 and 12 here at Dort. And yeah. So after I checked the weather and decided to just stop running, I took off all my running clothes and put on my pajamas and hopped back into bed. And it was about 5:15 in the morning. And my husband was still sleeping, and I don't think I woke him up, which is good. And so I get into bed, and I am just so cold. So I got out of bed, and I went and put on this full onesie flannel pajama that I had that somebody gave me as a joke. So I put that on to try to get warmer, and they'll be happy to know that I'm getting use out of that thing. But I still wasn't getting warm, and I was shivering in bed, so I thought, well, I don't really want to wake Jeff up, but I'm super cold, so I just sidled over next to him to steal some of his body heat. And I asked him in the morning. He said I was like an ice cube. But it took a little while, but as soon as I started grabbing some of his heat, I started getting warm again. Now, normally what I do is just take a bath, but then I would have really woken him up. So I think he probably appreciated that I sidled up next to him and didn't take a bath. I think I must really want to do this 50-mile race, the Zumbro 50-mile endurance run, because last night I had my first dream about the run, and in my dream, it was the night before the race, and the race is actually in Minnesota, and it's on April 12 or 13, and it starts at midnight on Friday night, and then it goes, you run through the night or the morning, Saturday morning, and hopefully I'll finish somewhere around noonish, and the race ends at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Well, in my dream, I was in Michigan, where I'm from, and I was with my mom, and I couldn't find my race clothes, and I was in a panic. I said, Mother, can you please help me? I can't find my race clothes. And it was Saturday morning in the dream. The race had already started, and then I was going to go online and figure out when it started again, and then I realized that the race was actually in Minnesota, and I'm in Michigan. I would never make the race. By the time I got there, it would for sure be over. So, kind of funny, I'm pretty sure in my dream I was crying because I couldn't believe that I had missed the race that I had trained this long for. So, yeah, I think I really want to do this race. It's Monday morning and it's about 11 o'clock. I'm going out for my long run that I missed last week, but mentally I just can't do 25 all in a big shot. So I think I'm going to do 13 and then take a bit of a break and then go out for the last 12. So I don't know, I'm just kind of burned out and ready for all this training to be over. I'm ready for the race. I hope I'm ready. Anyway, the dog is off to the side raring to go. So I'll get my stretches in and then I'll be off. Are you ready to go? Huh? You want to go running? Come on, bud. We're not ready just yet. I got to do my stretches. Got to do all my stretches. Okay? It's 4 o'clock and I'm going to go out for my second run of the day. 12 miles. I had a couple hours of rest in between. And the first run, I ran the whole run. This run, I'm going to allow myself to take walk breaks if I need it. So I have some steaks thawing, and I made a potato dish, and we're going to have some frozen green beans for supper tonight. So I think that's a good reward for after my run. So look who found me at mile 3.5. Boom shack. I'm at Dort's Rec Center for my last long run before the race. It's Friday. I did a 25 miler on Monday, but then kind of been through the ringer with the dog. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. He got sick. He was just miserable, so we took him to the vet. They mentioned the cancer word. So I've been a little bit of a emotional wreck because I thought my dog had cancer. He still might. I don't know. But he's doing good now. I'm making him all sorts of homemade food, and he's on some steroids and some antibiotics, and he's not himself. He's still sleeping a lot. So yeah, it's been quite the week. So I'm gonna go in here now at Dort and do 10 or 12 miles, and maybe I'll run 5 tomorrow. I'm not sure. Well, I got 10 miles in, and I haven't had a terrible workout in a while, and it wasn't terrible, it's just that it wasn't. I was hoping my last workout would be terrific, but my left leg has a little, like a gimp in it, So I ended up doing quite a bit of elliptical and uphill walking just so I didn't put too much pressure on the leg. So I think I'm going to do some yoga and maybe I'll get a massage next week. And yeah, my muscles and everything are pretty used, so they could use some TLC. But I got it in and I feel great. Tomorrow I hope to get a 5-mile run in, just easy, and we'll call it good for the week. I'm back from a 5-mile run, so that gives me 40 miles for this week, this taper week, and it is 1 week to the race. So next Saturday at this time I should be finished with the race. And in light of the events of this week, my quote for the week is this: once you have had a wonderful dog, a life without one is a life diminished. Dean Koontz.